Okay, now we're going to talk about what we can actually do with the results of surveys and experiments. So we're going to look at this example. You can go ahead and read it, hit pause, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so let's look at these design studies. We're going to say that the mean GPA for students who listen to music was significantly lower. So what can we conclude? So for one, since we're getting all the students in our AP class to participate, this is a convenience sample. Okay, all we did was ask them whether or not they studied with music on, and then divide them into two groups based on the answer to this question and look at their GPA. That's an observational study done with a convenience sample. So since it is done with a convenience sample, this tells us nothing. So, nothing. Alright, so number 2. Okay, so we've selected a random sample of students from our school, and we've divided them into two groups. So we've done a random sample, we asked them whether or not they studied with music on, and then we divide them into two groups and look at their GPA. Okay, still an observational study. Now since I'm getting a random sample of students from my school, then all that tells me is that at my school, the GPA of students who do not listen to music is higher. But at my school, as is as large as I can generalize the study. Right, so now we're going to get all the students in our AP Statistics class to participate in the study. We're going to randomly assign half of them to listen to music, and the remaining half to abstain from listening to music. Okay, now we've switched from an observational study to an experiment, which means it's okay to get volunteers, but that I can't generalize it to more people. All I can say is cause and effect. That we can say that for the people in our study, it seems that studying with music on results in a lower GPA. Okay, and number 4. Now we're getting a random sample of students from school, asking them to participate in the study, randomly assigning half of them to one treatment, half of them another. So now, since we have both a random sample and an experiment, we can say that it works for all students at our school and the cause and effect. So we can generalize it to everyone at our school, and we can say cause and effect. Okay, at this one, it's important to know that because it's an observational study, even though I took a random sample and I can say it applies to people at my school, I cannot say that it caused, that music caused it. I can only say that there seems to be an association between those who listen to music and lower GPAs. So that's the big thing to take from this example and from this section right here, is that there are two types of inference. The two types of inference are population inference, applying it to a larger group, and cause and effect. To do population inference, you must have a random sample. Things must have been done with random selection. Okay, to do cause and effect, it must be an experiment. Okay, and remember, I can do, and it must be a well-defined and a well-designed experiment. So remember, I can do experiments with volunteers and still get cause and effect, but I cannot get this. And I can do this with observational studies, but I cannot get cause and effect. So these are two different types of inference, and it really depends on our study which one applies to us.